on what they get. Certain players have expressed a significant dislike for various items, so it will be really interesting to see what we end up with here. Do you have any suspicion as to what Uncle or is going to have for us in the sewer today?
I'm hoping for the Berna Bryant King, as always. I think it's the most interesting one by far. And we got early flippers.
You see that? Water toes.
Yeah.
Kidding. Interesting. Doesn't really tell us too much logically. It does mean that Zora is going to be a place in play early on, as well as the hobo.
Yeah. No water, no fake flippers for runners today.
Yeah, it also kind of changes up potential Houlihan strats, although I haven't seen many people do that in this particular tournament after week 1.
Yeah. No, with the flippers, it's gonna be just part of the route, and but it's the hammer.
Yeah, the hammer time. Wow, I actually really enjoy getting an item like the hammer. My two favorite to commentate, and also if a player. Oh, look at that, bombs for Ultyma right off that first hit. Probably going to see the same thing for Recitador.
Yeah.
Wow.
No bomb hunting for runners today.
A lovely start. Plus a bomb upgrade, so for all the additional bombs they find later on, you know.
If they can find a 10 bomb prize pack like in the chest, they can afford it.
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing. It'd be worth it. Yeah. As I was saying, the runners, when you get the hammer or the bow really at the start, it just feels great. You're not, because those are usually items that you really are just going like, when am I going to find this? When am I going to find it? It can be a little bit frustrating. Of course, I think everyone prefers the bow. Yeah. Just for whatever reason, it always seems like that's a late game item otherwise. Yeah, but hammer's not too shabby.
The bow is required in the Eastern Palace and Pod plus Cannon's Tower, so it's really a useful and like all-around good item to get. Hammer in the start of the game, it's not really useful except like as a weapon, but for progression, it's really good later on when you get to Dark World.
Mm-hmm, yeah, well, it just opens up a lot of locations. And especially when you're worrying about that East-West Dark World situation, we're not going to have that problem most likely for our runners today because they have both the flipper and the hammer already. Yeah. So that's actually an indicator that we might have a slightly less chance of an Agaseed. Of course, now that I've said that, I've doomed both of these runners to a horrible, horrible fate.
Oh man, the commentator curse is a thing, but I don't know when the hammer is so fast. I don't know. Let's see later on before we make the prediction. But what I like about the hammer is when you get in the Dark World and you have already the hammer, then it makes it very nice for us to watch the race because there's so many places they can go right away that any decision can be like very, very worth it or not, or like be a big punish for the race.
Yeah, like I often say at the start to remind our viewers, if there's anybody new in the channel today watching, if this is your first time running a randomizer seed or watching a randomizer seed, it's very difficult at times to say who is in the lead and who is not, because it's really more about what kind of advantages they have based on the information that they've already uncovered. And so when they get to the point where they're in the Dark World and the world is completely open to them, if that happens, the seed lets them go from place to place, they start making different decisions. You never know who's actually making the right calls until they find that one specific item or we get close to the end of the seed.
Of course, somebody can enter like a pendant dungeon and find no useful item, and then you can pretty much say, okay, he wasted time, but that doesn't mean he's going to lose, because what is saying that the other player is not going to make a similar mistake too.
Absolutely, yeah. You never know when your opponent is going to go and do the exact same thing you did. So when you're playing, you always feel like, oh no, I've made a mistake. But you have to remember that chances are there's a good chance you went there for a specific reason, and who's to say they're not going to go there as well.
I don't know about you, but when I play tournament races, I'm always feeling like I'm behind. Like every mistake I make, I'm like, oh no, I'm doomed.
It just sits there in your chest the whole time. Like every little thing, like every bonk when you have the boots, every like missed swipe, like when you're trying to clear out Mini Moldorm Cave or something like that, it just gets to you and you have to like push past it and make your decisions based on from a calm and clear place in your mind, as opposed to getting panicked and worrying about what the other player is doing.
Yeah, exactly. And then the stress is very palpable for players when they get near the end and you still see that the opponent has not finished, and you're like, oh my god, can I win this? Can I really win this? So the races I've watched, like there have been a lot of mistake in the later part because people get so stressed.
Yeah, Trolldorm 2 for some reason suddenly becomes a much more dangerous fight, you know, just because you're so nervous.
Yeah, it's very, very different to play the tournament races than to do like just a normal race with your friend. There's actually something on the line. Internet fame.
Indeed. So our runners have now made it all the way to the rat room back of the escape sequence. As we have seen already, they both got a single bomb, so we're about to get a look at these 3 chests. It always feels great when you're able to get here right off the bat. It's the worst thing in the world having to wait for gloves or making the long run all the way through castle again. But we found ourselves a piece of heart, 50 rupees, and the moon pearl.
We got 2 moon pearls right here.
Amazing. So that just means we're a lift upgrade away from Dark World access, and we haven't even left the escape yet.
It's a great time to enjoy some Agaless seed for once, maybe. But you never know. Even though there are 2 gloves in the game, they can be anywhere.
That is true. All right, so our runners now are going to have the opportunity to, hook shot there in the sanctuary. Our runners now are going to have an opportunity to take a look at that lumberjack cave, if they so choose. And I've been seeing like it's really hit or miss whether or not a runner decides to do that, especially at this early juncture. It does cost you about 20 seconds or so.
I think the new meta is like you check it when you have boots now.
Yeah, like it's really kind of interesting. But both of them are making their way up. Most likely, we get a very early map check there.
Yeah, the recitador wants to know already in his end. He can plan already. He's not gonna go somewhere based on that. And I've been thinking today, like, sometimes I put it so far later, like after CAC or after the dam, but there's no disadvantage to do it early. Just advantages.
Yeah, but both the runners are making the check-in lumberjack hut, which is kind of an interesting thing. And we see that it's just a piece of heart, so no indicator there. In the map check, we saw that Eastern Palace was the red pendant, and Tower of Hair was a crystal, and I believe the desert was also a crystal?
Yes, I think, and I even think that it was a red crystal as for desert, but I could be wrong. I just saw a short glimpse, but pretty sure the tracker and his link size will show us.
No, we'll get another look as well when Ultyma makes that check.
Exactly.
Finding 6 bombs here in the Lost Woods. Normally, you kind of think, I'm not going to go pick these bombs up, but both of our runners choose, or at least Ultyma has chosen to get both. It's actually a great thing because now you're not going to have to make a stop in at the bomb vendor in Kakariko Village. You're going to be able to clear that out without having to worry about it there. Recitador picks up his second from the mushroom
you
spot.
Have to spend 50 rupees to buy 10 bombs for later on, because right now you have enough, and that's going to be great money, and especially since they have the flippers and they have access to Zora already.
So we're going to get our first look in the well on Ultima's screen.
That fox falling is so cute. The fox I think, is a great... Oh, the bow. The fox is a great sprite.
Look at that. So we have the book there, and then Recitador is going to go to Blind's hut, so we're kind of getting separate checks at the same time, which is really nice.
An amazing divergence of play here early on already.
Look at all those rupees. 600 rupees down in that well.
Yeah.
People have been wishing for a lot of things, I think.
I know who's going to end up with that money, and he's called Zora.
So we see blue mail here in Blind's hut, a couple of a full heart container, a piece of heart, and some small amount of rupees, as well as another piece of heart there at the back.
Yep. Not much in terms of progression, but a lot of things that runners are happy to get early on.
Yeah, the book is kind of an interesting find early on. It's going to make the 2 tablets accessible as soon as we have the great sword. It's going to make Desert Palace is able to be entered right off the bat, which actually can be beneficial to our runners because it will make them head towards, or might encourage them to head towards Agonist Cave,
Yep.
which a lot of runners will try to avoid.
Although it's very risky to go in the desert at this point without any fire source or boots because there's no. You cannot complete it right now.
Right, absolutely. And then as well, it's kind of advantageous to try to save it for if Misery Mire is also a dungeon, so you can kind of get 2 in one go. And here we see the boots in the chicken coop hut.
It's race is on.
Yeah, we are fully equipped with all of our footwear needs.
And this is like the seed is slowly cutting towards desert, you know?
Yeah, it really is at this point. They just need a fire source. If we find like the lantern and a lift, it's clearly where you want to go. Or the fire rod and the lift upgrade.
Or it could be the greatest bait of all time.
Yeah. So we're going to take a look here.
It is a crystal.
A look here in the library.
And we might even see a bonk here.
Wow! So, red mail. We're just about 11 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Full armored.
That's gonna be a good relief for runners, knowing that they're safe for the rest of the seed, because red mail is pretty much a good armor source.
So just another piece of heart there in the maze game.
Look at that sprite.
Yeah, recitador's got a purple face. All right, so Ultyma now is going to head down to check out most likely the dam area, and accidentally bonking off a bush there. It kind of is frustrating when you don't have a sword yet. Those bushes will stop you.
Exactly. Dam area, and also after that, it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to go for the minimal dorm or go straight to desert.
Well, finding a shovel there is a very interesting thing, because you've just finished that area. You kind of avoided going through the grove section, so the fetch quest there is not what anyone really wants to see, but not too hard to go and check up on at a later point. Just a big 20 there under the well, or under the water.
Not taking it, because he's already rich.
Yeah, it's almost 1,000 rupees already. Recitador trying to get that perfect dash grab on the pull switch there in the dam, but doesn't quite manage.
Mm-hmm. It happens. And Mini Modern Cave is going to be taken care of with the Oakshot here. A great weapon to clear this room, since it one kills the mold arms.
And with 5 more checks here, what more can the seed give them early on? Another 300 rupees, some bombs, a full heart container, silver arrows, and an arrow upgrade. Wow.
At this point, our heroes should really reconsider their life goals. Like, they have already like 1,200 rupees. Like, who cares about the princess? Just go.
Just be done.
Just go get your nice retirement. And we're gonna see a ice cave here.
Yeah, it's not really a big deal to head up to the ice rod cave when you have the boots. There's really no better time unless you happen to get flute as well. And on top of that, with red mail, these crabs don't hurt that bad.
Yes, it's a relief for once, because those crab, like, they're the hardest enemy in the game early on. They do 2 arts of damage, I think, when you're on green mail, but right now it's like you want to get hit by them and just laugh.
Yeah, and just kind of
get some damage boost, you know.
So here's another interesting opportunity. They have the since they have the flippers so early on, just gonna head back down here and make all of that water check. No reason not to. You've got the rupees. You're gonna be able to take a look at what's on Lake Hylia Island, as well as go to the hobo.
Exactly, it's the standard route. You would do that generally with the fake flippers anyway, but now you can do it in total legal manner.
Mm-hmm.
And Ultyma doesn't have to be worried about the arrow sniper here, because in his last race he got a soft lock because he was hit by the arrow here under the bridge.
I've had that happen to me once, and I think the very first time I ever happened. Wow, the flute hobo not even holding out on us for that long. Look at Recitador fooling us all. says, you know what? I could flipper this, but I'm going to actually water walk because why not?
Yeah, and he's gonna make some time up here because so far both runners did the same route, and Ultyma was just a bit ahead. But now the water walk is gonna make them closer.
So we see a big 20 there on Lake Hilly Island, and Ultima's going to head down to the Zora Whirlpool here. Yeah, I was saying my very first time I got shot by that bow, I wasn't really prepared to die while fake flippering, and then I realized, oh, right, it's to prevent the soft lock, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So what?
Those and the Zoras, they one-shot kill you, but if you're in the first sprite, then you will stay forever in a loop.
Yeah, if it's the screen you're in, we see, oh, and our sword upgrade, our first sword, there it is on the ledge.
Just laying there, ready to be picked up.
Yep, this seed is just pulling our runners by the nose, just leading them directly where they need to go.
Yeah, it's like a call to the sword here, and a boomerang.
You know, because why not?
Yeah, why not? Like, I'd rather have a boomerang for 500 rupees than 5 rupees.
You know, we laugh at the boomerang as it's not that required an item. It's almost most runners will choose not to pick it up, but it does make menuing a lot easier when there's an item in that spot. It just kind of smooths out some of your menuing, which can actually save you time in the long run.
Yeah, and right now it's the first projectile item from runners. I mean, the hookshot is kind of a projectile weapon, but it cannot go through like the blocks in Tower of Era, and so if they happen to have to go there with the flute, well, they cannot because they don't have the mirror yet, but it can make things a bit quicker in some of those rooms.
Ultyma has remembered that he has the shovel, so he's going to check the dig spot for another full heart container.
Yeah, 2 digs, 1 heart.
Recitador is probably going to check that on his way out because they're both making their way to Kakariko Village just to activate that flute for sure at this point.
Yeah, and it's going to check the bonk rocks as well.
Good call.
And Ultima is going to do the same. So we have a almost sync here at the 17-minute mark.
Now, fighter shield. Nothing too important. But if it does lead to, you know, fire shield and then mirror shield at some point that you just naturally pick up, it's nice to have.
Shields have Dream too, and they deserve the growth and they can become useful.
So we're probably going to get synchronized fluting here on the on our screens. Recitador is finishing his off just as Ultima is going to start his playing of the Chilean national anthem.
The Swagged Up Duet. It's beautiful.
So I think the play now is probably to head up to the mountain. You've got the hook shot?
That's exactly what Recitador is doing. Yeah, the hookshot makes West Step Mountain available, and he's going for the dark room play here.
So we just saw on Ultimate screen that both Tower of Hera and Desert Palace are 5/6 crystals.
Ooh.
So that's really, really interesting.
Yeah. And so right now with the hammer and the hookshot, Tower of Hera is actually clearable, but only if the lower room is not firelocked.
Yes, and as some people in chat are saying, like, of all of the sequence breaks that you make in this game, in Randomizer, this one is one that I think there's no reason not to do, provided you can, of course, navigate the dark room to save the old man. It gives you access to that mountain save and quit location, which is by and large the best location once you have the flute to use.
Yes. Free earth refill, and it's the nearest the exit. No super speed there for Recitador, and Ultyma gets it, so it's very close, very close right now. So just this little super speed is gonna make him just get a little bit closer right now.
Yep.
It's the little things here. It's really gonna be the little things.
Yeah,
In
well,
a-
when the race is kind of being so linearly completable at this early stage, that's execution is going to play a key role.
Yeah.
So we just saw a piece of heart there underneath Skull Spectacle Rock, arrow upgrade on top, so that's not going to entice either runners to head down into that cave there. And we're going to take a look now at Paradox Cave, and you can see, as you say, they're neck and neck at this point.
Yeah, they even have the same arrows count, the same bomb count, the same money count. It's like they're playing the same seed. I don't understand.
This is insane. Oh, they picked up different pots there. Everything's different now.
Okay, my theory is totally wrong.
All right, so now we're going to head up top to be somehow beside ourselves.
Yep. Who do you think is gonna get progression first?
Well, it depends on which side Recitador goes. Oh, look at that! Wow!
Whoa!
What is going on here?
Incredible!
This is an entirely new cave.
Wow, it's the best cave in the. It's the cave that saves the day.
It's really. That's just. I don't think I've seen such a thing. We get our lift, our sword, another sword upgrade, the mirror.
We should get a tattoo of this cave, man. It's like, it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Remember the day.
This cave has outdone the hypiest of hype caves.
Well,
that I've seen this.
It was 4 on 5 to me, like, because the art piece at the end was like kind of. It's like the dessert you don't really want because you have so full already from the meal.
Right, and as well, it gave them access to make this little path over here to Tower of Hera. They could easily complete it now. They can actually go check the medallion or the tablet.
They can get the item. Let's just check it.
Oh wow!
Because they got the master sword.
Because they got a master sword. Wow. How convenient! Now they have a bottle for when they return to village for Sick Kid.
Yeah, and a companion inside, a fairy, so they can die in peace.
Well, you never know. Sometimes that just throws you for a loop. You actually trying to take like a death warp, and you remember, oh, I've got a fairy.
That's the worst feeling. But all right, do you think the era is gonna be fire locked here?
Let's find out. We have one chest left. I'm gonna say no.
I don't think so either. It is.
I was thinking to myself, you know, this seed is just being so nice to them, and I had to curse them.
Exactly. So right now, desert is the play, right?
Yeah, it seems to be the only potential spot. I mean, there's lots of items in Eastern Palace that could be checked. That no one's looked at Saharshala's hut.
About Eastern.
The back of Saharshala's hut is still a thing. We can go down Spiral Cave. Ooh, I don't know if Recitador remembered that he should be heading down Spiral Cave.
Oh, maybe it's a planned.
He's just gonna save that for when he has Dark Death Mountain. I'm not sure.
We'll see if it's gonna bite him really hard or if it's just gonna be water under the bridge here as Ultyma picks up a piece of art.
Yeah,
that's good.
It was a calculated gamble on Recitador.
Yeah, because now he's ahead.
Yep, 10 bombs. What has Sick Kid been doing on his days off school? I'm a little concerned.
You know, when you're bored and sick, bomb making is better than nothing.
So here we see an interesting choice for Recitador's side. He's going to head into the Dark World at this point. He's going to forego heading over to Eastern Palace, looking at the Saharshala's hut chests. So is Ultyma. And he might then probably do Village of Outcasts as well as Thieves Town, depending, of course, on whether or not they're pendants. You could also look at the front half of Skullwoods. We'll see if that's his choice.
I think Recitador is going to look at the map first and decide accordingly, like he did previously. And Thieves Town is the green pendant, of course.
Yeah, which changes the calculus a little bit. But I also noticed the Tower of Turtle Rock is the other pendant.
Yeah. So far, it doesn't like they're very far away from Turtle Rock, but Thieves Town is a bit of a. It's always fun when it's a pendant crystal. I mean, because it's the only one you can always clear.
Yeah, it's pretty much a guaranteed clear by the time you get into the Dark World.
And now both runners going to the Skullwoods first, so even though they cannot clear it, they're gonna check, and there's 2 items in this dungeon, so it's always easy to check right after the first time you go in Dark World.
Mm-hmm. Now, with Green Pendant Thieves Town, I still would suggest that our runners are going to probably full clear it, unless they find some significant progression items here. We find our first item in Skullwoods to be the Quake Medallion.
Yeah, well, like you said earlier, both of runner didn't go to the eastern area at all and still have the Sorcerer's Roulette to check, so it would be like a nice way to...
to wrap that up.
To check, close all the gaps, but sometimes some runner really don't want to do Pendant Dungeon, and I understand them, but Thieves Town is quick one and it's 4 items, so it's always pretty good to do. And
because of its accessibility, it seems to be disproportionately heavy with progression.
Yeah.
So
it's like the pit stop.
Yeah. It's a very dangerous call to make to just completely avoid Thieves Town, even when it is a pendant.
Yeah, also Blind Fight is pretty good, easy to do with any equipment you have, basically any sword. So, like Modula, if you have only fighter sword and fire rod, some runners won't want to do it if they're like on green mail. But Thieves Town, you can almost always do it. So, and they have the hammer plus, so that there is no fear of like, oh, and I might have to come back later, and that's gonna suck.
Yeah. The other thing to notice that both of our runners, because they of course have the red mail, like Thieves Town, it's even easier. Like none of the monsters that are in there are going to hurt too much. Recitador is actually going to give us a look see at what's in Bumper Cave. It's just
Ultyma also. He's like following him very closely.
They're of the exact same mind today.
Well, you know what? I have a little bit of trivia for you. Both of these runners are actually playing a lot of entrance crossroll Kisanity as of lately, and maybe like playing this specific mode puts you in a state of mind, and they are both in sync.
It's possible. I could see how that might be something that they consider it if they kind of, when you're playing a lot of entrance and Kisanity, it does alter the routing that you typically take. And here we find the Titan's mitts. So whatever has led them to take this path at this juncture, forget about it. It was worth it.
And both runners must feel pretty good about this one, because it's not a place everybody's gonna check early on. And now you've got this item that's really, really useful, and you're thinking, oh, what if my opponent went in Thieves Town? I'm in the lead. So both runners are feeling great right now.
I would say that every kind of, I don't really necessarily want to call them gambles, but every little like choice decision tree that they've made has paid off for both of them. Of course, they've made the exact same choices, but that is just very exciting.
Oh yeah. I think maybe now is going to be the first time our runners choose different path here.
We'll have to wait and see. So Ultyma stays in the Dark World. Recitador decided to leave and flute, but looks like they're going right back to each other's locations.
Yeah, Ultyma not thinking about the flute as Recitador, thinking with the fast movement, but ultimately doesn't really change so much. It's pretty. It's almost like just a 2-second time loss here. And both are clearing Village of Outcasts, but in a different order. Right now,
look at that! There in the basement of the brewery, Recitador has found the bow.
Wow!
The capital D.
Are you gonna get a 40 minutes go mode? That's crazy. Oh, Ultyma's gonna miss the bow.
He's gonna find it on his way out. It's not necessary. It's not gonna help really at all in Thieves Town, so it's not gonna hurt him.
What do you think about this play of doing Thieves Town now that they have the mitts and the ocarina, and technically Mr. Meyer is kind of accessible, although no fire still.
Yeah, they are looking for a lantern and or the ice rod or the fire rod. Of course, they don't know what medallion Misery Mire is yet, so it might not be Quake.
Yeah.
But you're
That's
right.
true.
I would say that
And the Summer King too.
the changes that from what they've found, this might have made me think perhaps I'll skip a pendant dungeon at this point.
Yeah.
It is very difficult, but again, both runners of the same mind, so they're going in the same places. So it won't hurt them if they forget or if they find nothing here.
Maybe Ultyma and Recitador are in fact twins born from the same mother and just really doing all the same thing all the time. It's amazing.
So really, potentially, the only items that we need at this 30-minute mark is to know what the medallion for Misery Mire is. We need the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, Fire Rod.
Fire Rod. And I think that's it. Unless I'm forgetting something.
From my quick calculation, technically, that's it. Three
Well,
items to go mode already.
Of course, the lantern for logically to complete.
Yeah, well, not gonna talk. Both of these runners have showed us that they can do without the lamp, and I'm pretty sure they can do any room without the lamp at this point. So I don't think they're going to be too stressed about that.
So it will be very interesting to see if this pays off. If they don't find anything here in Thieves Town of value, maybe we'll see what happens when they get to Saharshala, the trade-in.
Yeah. But going to Saharshala at this point is still Saharshala Eastern is a pendant dungeon, but I guess you can go. They will go to Pod at least. I don't know if they're going to go into Eastern.
Well, I would imagine at this point, the next major play after this is to just do the complete South Route tour.
Yeah.
You can you can do the Lumberjacks. You can check Peg Cave. Can't do the Bat yet, but that's something that you can always whistle flute to later on.
Mm-hmm.
Then, of course, take the Purple Chest down, go to Stumpy, go to Cave 45, and end up at Hype Cave.
We haven't even seen Hype Cave yet, and our players are almost go mode. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What are the chances that Hype Cave gives them go mode?
Watch it have all 3 items that they need.
Yeah.
With Paradox Cave being...
We've seen that before today.
We could be looking at history in the making.
I don't know if there's like a world record for quickest go mode, but we might be seeing it today.
It's possible. I know that the fastest seed that I've seen this tournament so far was about an hour 12.
And then fast.
And then I watched another race that wasn't restreamed, but was on a person who I follow. And I watched his race, and it was an hour 14 he had. So there's been some quick times in this tournament already.
Well, I hope tonight is not so quick, because I love these racers, and I want this race to last forever.
I'm sure that they don't.
We need to sleep. No. Race forever with me on Speed Gaming.
So, synchronized blind fights, not quite, just slightly delayed from one another.
Yep. Recitador is a bit off script right now, but still with this great fire shield, doesn't take that much damage. And
now I'm afraid, counting items here, so I'm not sure if there's a chest left in the big key chest. The runners seem to think that aren't thinking about going, so I'm going to guess that their answer is no.
I'm going to tell you because I have Ultyma's stream open, and he has a tracker, and it shows that he has opened all the chests.
Okay. So there we go, with Ultyma picking up his bow. So we'll see what happens at Dig Game.
I'm always interested to see the patterns of the chest. Are they going to go for a straight line? Are they going to go for some chaos digging?
I watched one where, ooh, look at that, Ether Medallion.
Ooh.
I watched somebody spell out hi to the audience while they were digging. It was pretty interesting.
I mean, it's a win.
So that's a good find. Recitador is going to go back up, rescue Jeremiah the Bullfrog, and begin the world tour of the south. I'd be
Well,
surprised.
Ultyma will do the same. Indeed. Is there a glitch in the Matrix? Because of all the choices that they can do in a seed, that's like a big number right now. That
here will be a telling moment. Will Ultyma do hammer pegs before turning in Jeremiah? Let's see. Yes.
Yeah, and from what? Oh, but he doesn't do the same pattern.
Oh, that's completely different, everyone. Nothing is the same.
I'm disappointed in him.
So just a 10 bomb upgrade down there in the hammer pegs. Nothing that either of our runners is going to go pick up.
A sad bomb upgrade. Maybe it was planted there by the sick kid to stash more bombs later on.
Yeah, that's he's.
You can only put 10 in a bed, you know. Have you ever tried to put more than 10 bombs in your bed?
I can't say that I have.
Well, I'm not gonna say if I have, but I can tell you I don't think it fits.
So just a piece of heart there from Jeremiah the Bullfrog after rescuing him from the Dark World. And Purple Chest has been picked up by both of our runners. So now they're going to do the rundown through here. We're going to see Cave 45. We're going to see Stumpy. And then I would anticipate that they'll turn in the Purple Chest, check the Bombos tablet, and then head over to Hype Cave. I'm wondering if one of them will decide instead to pull the trigger on checking out Desert Palace at that point. Without a fire source, I think that that's a less likely call, but you never know.
I think something that's likely is Swamp Palace. They have the hammer, they have the hookshot, they have flippers, and it's on the way.
That's true, but it's also one of those things that you just want to go mode.
You want to go mode it, but I don't know if it's me, but recently in most of the seed I've seen in the last 2 days, Swamp is the play all the time.
Synchronized mirror bonks even, guys.
It's uncanny. I'm starting to feel a bit suspicious about all this thing.
100 rupees from Stumpy.
Are we reliving? Oh, and here Ultyma takes the lead because he has already done the shovel check.
That's true, but ultimately Recitador more efficient in his path.
Yeah, indeed, but Ultyma putting away here with a little bit of a few seconds ahead now.
2 screen transitions
And
of advantage.
the difference, and Ultyma has done the Spiral Cave also, but didn't
That's true.
pan out to be nothing. So.
And there's our 3rd medallion, so we now definitely have Meyer access when we get the Cane of Samaria.
Yep.
Recitador just choosing to leave the bomb there. He's going to go check out Hype Cave first, then, and this is actually a very exciting choice because he's going to then be able to go do the Bombos tablet and then make the call perhaps to check Agina's Cave and look at the desert.
All right.
See
One
an
item
ice
already
rod.
in Hype Cave. Hype Cave, you are dead to me.
Marginally hype. 2
Yeah.
out of 5.
Hype Cave was Hype Cave in the good old days, but now it's only a shade of it. It's like a ghost of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Both runners doing something the other have done already.
Yep, I do believe that we're going to see a little bit of divergence here, perhaps just based on where they're ending up this set of checks.
Would it be great if they did the exact same route all the way to Ganon?
It would be an impressive thing. I don't think I've seen a
It would be like
mirror yet.
synchronized randomizer. Could be like an Olympic thing.
So Bombos opens up Ice Palace
Yeah.
for our runners.
But
Swamp Palace is open.
I don't think you go in there because you don't have fire and you don't have the Red King yet.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. You try to find some other items, but Looks like
Oh.
Ultyma is going to pull. Here we see our first divergence. Ultima's going to go pull the Swamp Palace play. Recitador, as I thought, might, based on his routing, is checking Agonist Cave and perhaps will head into the desert after this.
Yeah, seems likely at this point. Doesn't make any sense to go in Aginas and then,
No, he's going to save the quit out. Actually, what he probably will do is flute over if he's going to, so he can get the Misery Mire Shed check and the Checkerboard Cave as well.
And Ultyma is added into Swamp. It is fully completable, and although it's like one of those that you want to go mode later on because it's so fast to go mode.
Look at this. Recitador is going to go into Ice Palace, it seems.
Yeah, technically he can do it with without the Fire Rod because he has just now found Bombos. And it's so which one is gonna be putting the runner in the lead? That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, both of these dungeons are ones that are more fun to go mode than to do.
Yeah.
But Swamp Palace having a larger concentration of items may be the right call. You never really know at this point.
Statistics would tell you that Ultyma is making the right call, but I don't know a lot about statistics. Just the number of items is higher there, but luck and the seed, it could very well be in Ice Palace that the next progression is.
I would say that there's actually, and someone brought it up in chat, another kind of even more ideal potential path as far as number of items would have been to go to Palace of Darkness, also fully completable, and get the check-in at Saharshala and the Saharshala's hut at this time. So Ultyma finds the powder, though, which is opening up Mad Batter for him. He's choosing, it looks like he's going to choose to forego the left side of Swamp.
That's a risky play, but might be a good play. Or maybe he's going to go back after the Buzzkill if he still has 2 items there.
Yeah, he's going to keep an item count and decide from there.
That's not a bad play, because if you do find a progression at the second part of the dungeon, you are most inclined to just follow this lead and not believe that there's going to be a second item in this dungeon. I think fire is what both runner must be looking for at this point.
Yeah, you just want to have that.
Because fire locks quite a bit of things, not just light, but for chest and stuff. And bomb jump for Recitador here.
Oop, slips off the edge there.
That's okay, he has a lot of hearts and bombs.
He's a little close, I think.
Every fall he takes.
That one looks better. I think he's got it there.
This race being so close, every second count here. So
the only other kind of a downside here, and Recitador is going to face the same thing when he gets to Cold Stare, is Master Sword on these bosses is not ideal.
Yeah. At least it's not on Fire Sword, because then it would be like probably better off to just use the hammer, and that's like the longest time ever. But at least he has the silver arrow, so he's gonna get a quick kill on the.
Nice. Hasn't changed 2 silver arrows yet, though.
Doesn't want to use it.
He's going for the spin.
Yeah. He's a ballad dancer. Want to do these spins, daily spins, and gets the kill.
So not finding very many items here in this part of the back half here of the Swamp Palace.
I think I would go back. You don't want to left an item here and that be the thing that you're gonna miss and makes you lose the race. because he just got a map, so there's at least one item there.
So we get a little, lots of little frames there, but yes, he is heading back into the Swamp Palace.
Yeah, sometime you win some gamble, sometimes you lose, but at least he's not leaving anything behind. Because that, when you leave an item behind and you say, okay, no, I don't believe it is, then it's always in the back of your mind. What if it was there?
Yep, that one orphaned chest that you've just left.
Oh yeah, when you get paranoid, it's like it's gotta be there. And then it chips in you. It's like the mental thing.
So Recitador is making fairly decent time through Ice Palace as well. Well, we've been focusing mostly on the more item checks here in the swamp.
Most likely at this point, both maybe the play was spot, and both of these will have nothing, and it's gonna be interesting to see if they go there afterwards. Although some of Pod's chests are technically, logically, lamp blocked, so maybe that's what. Not that they cannot do it, but maybe our runners are thinking, "Oh, since I should not get all these chests, maybe I should follow the logic since I only have 3 more chests to go."
Yeah, with Turtle Rock being a pendant as well, it makes the play into Dark Death Mountain less desirable. That climb up the mountain is slow, but there are quite a few items there on top.
Exactly.
So
and I'm pretty sure both of runners are hoping that the Red Cane, the Cane of Samara, is going to be their go mode item, because then it totally shuts off any Turtle Rock play.
So this means that Ultyma has to go all the way back to check that big key chest now.
But it might be worth it.
Yep, but he couldn't have asked for a more circuitous route through Swamp Palace.
It's the way it's gotta be. Like, yes, it takes some time, but maybe Recitador is gonna do the same thing afterwards, and then it's the equalizer. And maybe he finds something, like a piece of art, or full art, even. And Recitador is gonna head up into his Cold-Star fight momentarily here, with Master Sword and only Bumbos and hammers. It's not a super easy fight, but at least he has red armor, red mail.
Yeah,
fight.
Those Cold-Star hugs aren't going to be nearly as dangerous as they would have been otherwise. Ultyma is now going to make a play. I wonder if he remembers where the red medallions are, because both of them being in the light, or the red crystals, both of them being in the light world is kind of an interesting factor to consider.
Yeah.
But we'll get our pyramid ledge check now. And I'm curious if he'll just carry that upwards to catfish. There's really, at this point, no good time to do a catfish check.
Oh yeah, he's gotta go check it at some point. It's now or never.
Yeah. So just a piece of heart there on the ledge.
And Recitador, even though he has the hammer out, he's going for the safety spins here, because hammer, you have to be very close to the puffs, and it's their body that does the most damage. So with the spins, you get a bit of distance, and you have less chance to die. Oh, and he gets only one more. If he gets touched one more time, you will have to go back to the entrance.
Well, I believe he still has that fairy that was in the bottle.
Oh, yeah, the early fairy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the fairy stays in the bottle because he gets the kill and gets his reward.
And now Ultyma's going to show us what it is that Catfish has been hoarding.
Show us, Catfish. Great orders of red potion.
Bottle of red goo is not bad.
It's the blood of the catfish. Ready to be to heal our fighter wounds.
So what's very interesting here is how both Ice Palace and Swamp Palace were completely devoid of items.
Yep.
Meaning they could have been go-moded. Recitador is going to show us what's up on Dark Death Mountain now, which is very exciting. We'll see Hookshot Cave.
And they're
And
back
Super
to
Bunny,
think.
Yeah, they took one different path from one another, and they're like, you know what? I need to hold my buddy's hand.
Yeah.
So back to the same.
And it's gonna be interesting if they find progression here and they keep being in sync, and at the end it's just gonna be one of them can go mode ice and one of them can go mode swamp.
Wow! Can you imagine? Well, I don't even really know exactly which one of those is better. I think it's probably more of a time save to go mode swamp than it is ice, but that will be interesting.
Pretty much the same. I don't. It's gonna be interesting if it happens.
Yep, so now we make our run up through Super Bunny Cave, so named because it is a cave that you can, in fact, do something in well in bunny mode if you don't have the... Oh, Recitador doesn't get the block skip.
I didn't know about that, but it's true that one time in the entrance crossroad randomizer that I did with Ultyma, I was very confused when I could open chests here.
Yes, what happens there that makes that glitch take place is if you can cause the bunny to do something that's unexpected. In this case, it's fall down a hole. When it lands, it doesn't realize that it's fully one of the holes in this cave.
Oh, okay.
That's what allows you to open up the chests. Otherwise, you normally wouldn't be able to.
Oh, that's knowledge. I will go to bed tonight with a little bit more in my brain. Thanks to you.
You're welcome. Ooh, Ultyma, forgetting that that's not the way through Hookshot Cave.
Well, he tried and it failed, but it doesn't mean like he could make it one day if he really believes.
If he has faith. Finding a bottle of green goo is the only thing Hookshot Cave of any note. A third bottle is nice, but clearly at this time not what our runners are looking for.
This city is really all about collecting bottles and their content. Yeah, they have a fairy, a green goo, a red goo. All they miss is either a bee or a blue goo, and they have all the available items. And Recitador going for the spiral cave just now.
Whoa! Did you see what he sees on the ledge there? I saw a fire rod. There's a fire rod up there on Desert Ledge, so that's a progression item. If only our runners had gone to Desert early.
That's been available for
so long. Absolutely. This is an exciting matchup. I'm sorry to talk at the same time as you. I just can't believe it.
It's okay, man. No, I didn't. Wow.
So we are now a Cane of Samaria away from go mode. Once they pick that up, we'll see if Recitador makes the same play into desert. Yes, he is getting to the Mire area.
He is. I mean, this race is gonna be close up until the end, man. This is a treat to watch right now.
Indeed.
And now desert is completable.
But Ultyma doesn't feel like dealing with it yet. It's gonna go check the checkerboard cave, I would imagine.
I guess it's a good play because if you find a red cane there, you don't have to go mode. You can go mode everything after that.
Yep. Of course, the lantern's still technically in logic, but at that point, if I were one of these two runners, I'd be making the go mode play for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna see the end of this seed without the lamp. Yep. That's just my
very likely. We really only have a few dark rooms that would be required to clear out at this point once we get the Cane of Samaria, Summon Pod, and of course the Misery Mire ones, which are some difficult dark rooms, but they're not overly hard.
Yeah, and it's a good. I like to see these things being required in a race because it's really put the more skilled player at an advantage. That's what you want in the end of the day. Not somebody won because he was lucky to find the right item. You want it to be because the runner has more skills and more practice and more dedication to the game.
Yeah. What's interesting here is we see that Ultyma chooses to whistle back over to the Dark World to get up to Desert Ledge. I wonder if that's really faster, where he could have run over and used the book. I'm really not sure.
I think what he wants, it's because if he exits the desert with the red cane, he can already go in the.
He's got the. You're right. Absolutely right.
So you got to do it anyway. So it's like a safety.
Yeah, maximum efficiency.
Oh yeah, man. It's all about efficiency at this point, man.
Yeah, and these two runners are putting on a clinic for how to route things, it seems.
Yeah. I'm taking notes. I have my paper, I have my pencil, and I'm all taking notes here.
They're going to school today.
Yeah. Back to high school. Randomizer
alright.
school.
So here on the right side, we find the lantern.
The lamp.
So you know what? This has been as providing the cane is not in some ridiculous place. And I'll tell you what, the most awful spot for the last progression item would have been in Turtle Rock, but with it being cane, that can't be the case. So our runners have dodged some difficulty there with that pendant Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the masochist in the chat, but there is no ped today. There's no Turtle Rock today. It's gonna be fast, I believe.
Yep, this is as jet a seed as you can hope for, I think. There's of course the basement of Hera.
Yeah, but you got to do it anyway. It's required to do it because they cannot progress without it.
Yep. Desert's going to be completable, and we already know from each runner that both Ice Palace and Swamp are devoid of anything of value. Now they don't know that, so they're going to have to go through each fully, unless of course they decide to hit Tower of Hera next.
I really hope that any of the runners, I really hope that if somebody goes in Ice, the other goes in Swamp, or I really hope that someone doesn't go, like, let's say, in Pod, and the other one goes in Swamp, because then that's just bad luck at this point. Additionally,
Skullwood's now being open. We still have one item there that's not obtained, so I would be expecting that might actually be the next check for both of these runners to finish off Skullwoods, get that item. It's a little bit faster than going up to Tower of Hera. You kind of want to.
That Hera is a red crystal.
That's true.
But
there's also a pull to kind of have that Tower of Hera. Like, how nice would it be if you can finish Tower of Hera as your final crystal?
Oh yeah.
And just leave it and go to the Dark World and be at Ganon's Tower.
Even faster than doing Turtle Rock last. Oh, almost one cycle fight from Ultyma. Would it be crazy if someone went for a gamble and go straight into Misery Mire from here?
Oh, and hoped for a cane in Misery Mire.
That sounds crazy, but that might be the play.
Stranger things have happened. I think at this point, when both of these runners are feeling really good, like, I can't imagine that they don't feel like they're in the lead. At this point, they've made the right call every time.
Yep.
That they probably wouldn't try to make any gambly risks at this point. And we see that Recitador is going over to Palace of Darkness, and so is Ultyma.
They're following your trail.
Yeah, it's insane.
Maybe it's the fox sprite. It's follow the scent of the other runner, and it just tells him where to go.
Wow. So I like this play a lot. So many possible chests here with the mirror and the boots. Routing pod is not as awful as it can be in sometimes. They've got the bow with silver arrows. Everything is going for them.
The green pendant and the Sarsha's hut, and there's so many items here.
So Cane of Samari in the back of Sarsha's hut would be amazing. Turns out it's not meant to be, though.
Better luck next time. Although it would make sense because Sarsha's seems like an old dude and he could use a cane. I know I've realized lately that he's wearing a hat and he's not like a bald dude, but it looks like an old man.
So somehow Recitador didn't get Kiki the monkey, but turned around and found him again.
Ultyma is doing the same thing. No Kiki for him.
They both kind of just dodged him, and they're going to get there.
And Ultyma doesn't realize.
Oh no! These small things are going to be, I think, the difference in this matchup. It's just the way they're running.
Imagine if Ultyma loses the race by 5 seconds.
Oh my goodness! All because he forgot Kiki. Oh no!
It really hurts, but You gotta think about Kiki. Don't leave Kiki behind, folks. Don't never leave Kiki behind. I know sometimes I wanna leave him behind because he costs 100 rupees, but he's worth it.
You know, the absolute worst is when you go with just enough rupees and you get hit by one of those little mobs out there and Kiki runs away. And you're just like, oh, come on, give me a break. So interestingly enough, Pod wasn't bow locked. Not that it's anyone's expectation that they wouldn't have gone to Village of Outcasts.
We could see a swag pushing glitch, but I don't think we're going to see anything of that. It's just straight up right now. Who's going faster?
Runs through that hellway pretty quickly. No problem. Grabs the big key.
Very close race.
Yeah, just some very minor execution differences at this point.
So
some small. I think there's like 1 or 2 checks that one has made that the other hasn't. Ultyma's done Spiral Cave.
Yeah.
And that might be about it, to be fair.
I really, really hope that, and it's pretty much likely at this point, but I really hope that Red Cane is in this dungeon, because it would make for very, very nice end of the...
Yeah, I'm actually, I agree. I am rooting 100% for the Cane of Samari to be in this particular dungeon. Just getting to watch these two runners race each other with go modes for their final dungeons, and actually getting to see what happens in that one divergent path there where we see Swamp Palace on the one side, Ice Palace on the other, both in go mode. It'll be really interesting to see which one of those plays was the better choice.
This race almost feels like a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
There's everything.
Back and forth, back and forth. So, folks, you've stumbled yourselves into an excellent matchup between these two runners. There hasn't really been a good time till now, but about an hour in, I'd like to remind you, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, both of these people, and as well as every other runner who's part of this 512-person tournament, would appreciate your a click or two from you on your mouse if you'd head over to their channels, throw them a follow. It would be greatly appreciated. We'll throw a link up in chat in a few seconds there to.
You won't regretting following these two runners, because if you've ever watched Entrance Crossroad Christianity, it's very fun to watch this, and those runner runs it a lot. So if you follow them, that's what you're gonna see a lot, and it's really worth it. Oh. The Beetle giving Ultyma a bit of trouble on the bridge, but he survives.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen!
The Go Mode item in pod. What?
We are fully Go Mode. Recitador, where are you going?
Recitador,
he already has it. I didn't see that he did it.
We were so into like doing the shoutouts and follow these guys. We missed it, man.
So now Ultyma, though, has to go find a key. That's the reason why he hasn't whistled out to go back, or mirrored out. He needs a couple keys there just to make this easy. And I expect he'll mirror now.
Dude, this is amazing. Late night race are the best. Indeed.
So as I said, Ultyma needed to grab those keys to finish off this dungeon. There are a couple of doors that he's going to want to open in the back half of Palace of Darkness.
So,
Recitador missing the bow and arrow or boomerang shot there.
Recitador is a bit ahead right now, a bit like two rooms ahead, but
what a nice toss!
We cannot really be sure who is ahead because we don't actually know which dungeon is faster to go mode, Ice or Swamp.
Yep, my guess is going to be that Ice Palace is faster, just because Swamp is going to be. Swamp doesn't have those iframes or the ice physics, which can be troublesome.
Yep. I see Ganon on Ultima stream, but I don't think he's already there.
Yeah. turns out that Ultyma has a bunch of his follow notifications.
Yeah, I hope he turns it down.
Yeah, I don't think at this point that there's any concern. But thanks, we appreciate those of you who did go and follow him. I'm sure he's going to appreciate that. If the rest of you until the end of the race, at least, just to make sure that there's no concern there.
We want the full viewer experience here. We want to see all the frames in the screen.
So Ultyma gets pretty good run through turtle room there.
And recitador gets his crystal. Nice fight here on his side.
Yep, and Ultyma is going to be at Helmstor King in just a few moments.
So there's no way we're gonna see Pud right now. Eastern, I mean. From now on, it's go mode, go mode, go mode.
Yep, so really it's just going to be where you choose to go first. So Recitador, of course, has to do the swamp. So that's where he'll head first. It'll be interesting to see if Ultyma chooses to go to Ice Palace next.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, just for...
I guarantee our runners are going to go to Tower of Hera last.
Yep. That makes the most sense. So I think from now on, Recitador goes right here in Swamp, and then to Meyer, and then to Era, and I think same for Ultyma, except he does Ice first.
So we see Recitador is going to enter Swamp Palace at about 1 hour, 6 minutes once he starts doing the opening and unlocking. I'm going to include that in the time. Let's see what happens with Ultyma when he hits into Ice Palace, which he's not going to at this point.
Yeah, okay.
He'll do Skull Woods, it seems. Just to see if we can get a nice timing.
All right.
And we'll learn.
For statistics.
Yep. More knowledge for you to take to bed tonight.
I mean, my brain is already overloaded, but I'll take it.
Now, the real question will, of course, be, will these runners choose to open any additional chests if they find the big key early in Ganon's Tower, looking for that tempered sword? Silver Master Sword strats, not awful, but it is a slower fight if you can't find that tempered sword.
Oh yeah, but with Red Mail, it's everything is gonna be all right. They have also a red potion. I mean, at this point, they have the old arsenal to complete the seed without any big trouble.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, with them being so close together, it could be the difference between winning and losing in this race.
Yeah,
if one of them manages to find it, yeah.
Yeah, only the only checks that they're gonna get at this point is the boss treasures.
Yeah, and maybe if there's like a chest on the way.
Yeah, like Mystery Mario actually maybe Mystery Mario would be one of the greater dungeon to do first, because you have to find a key there, and then you might end up getting a sword upgrade, which makes the rest of the run easier.
Yes, that is a very astute point. The necessity of looking through actual chests. It's the only dungeon left at this point that they're going to have to open chests looking for a big key.
Yep. Oh, and it's true that Recitador won't have to do the left side of...
Yeah, that's part of that's that go mode situation. He'll also be able to avoid going down to the bottom end here. Again, he might choose to just to look, but nope, he's going straight to Argus.
You might check this chest is always an easy one to check on the way. It's worth it when you have still Master Sword.
Yeah, Mothula being a bit of a pill, refusing to get away from the spikes, which, as you know, means that he doesn't take damage if he hits a spike.
Exactly, one of the worstly coded boss in the history of gaming.
And Ultyma is having, although he has a lot of health, you know, those spike blocks do the same amount of damage, doesn't matter what kind of armor you're wearing. He was having a rough time there.
But he succeeded without needing a fairy, without needing a potion. And Recitador is fighting Argus at this time with the same gear that Ultyma also did this boss.
So if he finishes this boss within this minute, it'll have been a 4-minute run to go through Swamp Palace. with full go mode, which is interesting.
Yep.
Looks like it could very well be about that time.
Yeah, I think it's from my memory. Like it's about 4 minutes to do 3 to 4 minutes to do ice on go mode. And right now we're gonna see Misery Meyer from, which is I think is a great choice here.
Yeah, I think that is absolutely the correct call to make because it gives you the potential to find a useful item. Ooh, Recitador missing on that last spin there, but yes, it turns out that it's about 4 minutes or so, give or take 1 or 2, a half a minute, to go mode Swamp Palace.
Mm-hmm. It is true to note that Ultyma would have. I saw that in chat, and I think it's very true that Ultyma would have a faster coast there because he has double magic fire rod. Recitador only had Bumbos at this point, so it took a lot of time for the kill.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be able to hopefully get the good hit on all 3 of the puffs right off the bat with the fire rod and just spam away. Both of our runners making the same call yet again. They are literally on each other's tails this whole matchup. Just that one divergence is the only separation between these 2 runners with the Ice Palace and Swamp Palace plays that they made in the mid-game.
Yeah, that's one of the most unique races on this aspect that I've seen in my life. It's just and I don't even think the seed was linear that much. Like there was a lot of options, and they always had the same mindset almost.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had like things like Palace of Darkness, Swamp Palace, Ice Palace, Skullwoods, and Desert. If they had gone to Desert, they would have been able to complete that as well and opening up.
Very open from the get-go. Like,
yeah, they could have done any number of different paths, and yet they chose almost identical ones this whole way through.
Yeah. Yet, at the end of the day, one is going to be a winner and one is going to be a loser, and that's sports, esports races. That's how it is. But both runners are, I'm pretty sure, will be very happy with how they played the seed, regardless of the outcome.
So now I've seen Ultyma do a very strange route through Misery Mire. He isn't appear to be doing that this time. I've seen him pull that.
Ultyma is known for his great routing in Misery Mire. He once went like in a tournament race here on Speed Gaming. He went all the way to the useless room, but now he doesn't do that anymore because he's people have told him enough.
Enough is enough. Yeah, no. Finding the mirror shield, so that's always.
It could have been useful in TR, but it's not going to see any use.
So he is going to forego the vanilla big key chest check at this point. I don't really fault him for that, and he's going to instead hope to find the big key down here in this next screen. If he doesn't, he's going to have to head all the way back. Ugh.
He has to.
There's nothing much you can do about that. It's a choice that I understand fully that you make. That cutscene is so long, and in a race like this, where seconds are going to matter, that could be all the difference. We'll see here if Recitador decides to go for it. He does, and that's going to allow him to make some time up on his opponent.
Yeah, this race might just be down to the Ganon's Tower if they do the same route, or if one goes the other way. But I think they might go the same way just because of the history that they make the same choices.
I spoke too soon. Recitador is going to go ahead and do the exact same play, it seems.
Wow.
I should have known better. At this point, these runners just do the exact same thing as one of
I don't know if they are friends, but they should.
Yeah, I wonder if they have raced each other a lot before and kind of have watched and know what each other's paths are.
Yeah, maybe they're like best friends, but they don't know it yet.
So at this point, Ultyma still has to do Ice Palace, which is going to be a longer Palace check than Skull Woods that Recitador has to. So they're at the same point. Like, it's very difficult to say who's ahead of whom at this point. They are within seconds of one another, though. It's without a doubt.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be it's gonna be a nice finish. Maybe it's gonna be a photo finish, man. I'm gonna get my cell phone ready, my print screen ready, man, because that's gonna be very, very close. It's almost sure. It's going a bit back and forth. It's perfect.
So Ultima's going to come out of the Misery Mire fight sooner, and I'm assuming he's going to head right to Ice Palace. It's a fairly easy... He's going to have to flute over there, so there's still a mirror swap. Both of our runners are going to have to make.
Yep.
I'm just kind of thinking about like the unavoidable time sinks that they're going to face, and they're both going to have to go through the same number of mirror transitions to the Dark World. It really is going to come down to that pure raw execution.
Oh, it really is a fight of skill today here on Speed Gaming. Not a show of luck. It's really pure, untapped execution from now on, and it's amazing.
So I'm going to mention it now. It's normally we hold back on this, but just because of the nature of this particular race, ladies and gentlemen, be ready for that Ganon Tower Big Key game. Because the runners are going to come out of Tower of Hera and go right into Ganon's Tower. They're just going to hop down that one ledge, hit the portal, and go back, head over to, where is it at? Turtle Rock portal.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be a very long time for you to be preparing your numbers. So think about it now. We're not going to actually start the game until one of the runners has reached all 7 crystals. But just be ready.
Crunch the numbers, guys. Make your guesses. Call your family. Ask them questions. But get the number ready. I already know my number, but I won't tell. I keep it a secret.
So here we're going to see the Ice Palace play, I believe. Ultima's going to go ahead and get some blue potions here. With the flute, that's a nice, easy play to make.
Yeah. And it's sometimes it seems like, a safety, but it's better to lose 10 seconds here, get the potion, than to take a death at Ganon's Tower and have to go back all the way. So I don't blame him for that. I think it's a nice choice.
Yep, I like having it. You know, the thing possible is when you're in Ganon's Tower and you get to near the end and you just like, I feel like low on mana, I'm low on power, I need to light these torches. So exactly. Always a good safety item to have. So here we are at 1 hour 17 minutes for Go Mode Ice Palace. Let's take a look and see how long this takes Ultima. Again, just a reminder to the chat, we counted 4 minutes for the Go Mode Swamp Palace, and that was with substandard items as far as weapons are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if this is the right call or the less advantageous call.
Yeah, that's gonna be the only difference these runners have made all race long, and we're not even kidding here. It's been that crazy. I'm pretty sure that their item count is gonna be like 1 or 2 items different.
Yeah, the only one I know for sure is a difference is that Spiral Cave pickup by Ultima very early on in the game.
Well, Recitador went and did the Spiral Cave after he did the Dark World Mountain. He did, yeah.
Well, then there you go.
So they're gonna be facing Ganon with the same equipment. They're gonna be it's the ultimate mirror showdown. I think Ultima already taking a bit of a lead here, because I remember Recitador missed the quick kill on the Stalfos. Also had 4 drops here in the...
Yeah, he missed the bomb jump quite a few times.
So normally it doesn't really matter that much, but here...
Yeah. Ultima getting the first shot on it is helpful.
And if the race finished 20 seconds difference, everything can have been it, you know?
Yep.
I'm feeling the heat here, man. I'm like...
Oh no, this is full out. There's been no stopping these runners. We haven't had a moment to breathe. There's been action the entire game. Oh, Recitador taking a fall. Oh no, as he fell down, he got wall mastered. What fortunate circumstances for him. Oh, things like that. Every one of those is going to be a make or break moment in this game.
Yeah, but there's still all of the gauntlet. I mean,
Yeah, lots of
it's
game
not,
left.
that's like literally a 15 seconds loss. It's really not that bad, but it's 15 seconds that Ultyma can take advantage of.
So we're looking at potentially a 3-minute check through Ice Palace Go mode. So that is a noticeable change. Of course, slightly over 3 minutes. Assuming Cold Stare is going to take about at least 30 seconds, 45 seconds. It's almost as if they're identical to one another at this point. Plus that Kiki forget on Ultima's side. So many little things.
So many little things, but all of these things adds up, and it's equally on both sides. Little blunders here, never a big thing, and it's gonna make for a super tight race. Both both runners using the fire rod to kill their respective buffs at the same time.
So we see here it's going to be about 3.5 minutes by the time Ultima gets out of this. 340, maybe 340. So a 20-second difference based on their on their times through those two skip things. But look at this, Recitador, pick up the crystal.
Yeah,
they are literally.
There are 20 seconds difference right now in between the runners, and they have only Era and GT to do now. This.
I'm going to call it right there. That bouncing crystal was all the second.
And a bonk on Ultima here is going to make him lose the lead.
A mirror bonk! Oh no! Recitador unable to menu for a moment there, but does not get the bonk. They are literally within 2 or 3 seconds from their whistles there. Look at that.
Wow. And,
one bad dead. Both of them escaped the dead rock. The speed here, Ultima hit the speed, but then got hit.
Loses it.
So he's gonna. They're both gonna go over
here. A bad bonk rock could change the total game here.
Yeah, dead rock up at the top here. They're both gonna go grab the Dark World portal. Choosing to take the portal up through Super Bunny Cave is probably the best move here that they can take. That way, when they finish Tower of Hera, the mirror portal is going to be right outside the door. So, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, be prepared for the big key game in Ganon's Tower, because it's going to be a very brief time.
This is a nail biter. I wonder if it's faster to do this way that they're doing than to go open the portal on Total Rock. I have always assumed it is, but both of these runners seem to know what they're doing, and right now they're doing the opposite. So,
well, there's a less chance for a death rocks.
That's true,
and that would be a really annoying thing to have happen to you at this point.
Right now there might be a chance for a tie. Do you know how separate they need to be for a tie to be? I think is it 3 seconds?
I think it's 3 seconds, yeah. So at this point, we know that they have to go into the Tower of Hera basement. Both runners know this, I believe. And they're going to get a coffee break to catch their breath.
Yeah.
So while they're running this, I'm just going to explain the Ganon Tower Big Key game.
A coffee pause together.
Yeah, indeed. I'm going to explain the game for those of you who are new to the channel. When the runners finish this dungeon off, they're going to be looking to enter Ganon's Tower, at which point they are on a hunt for the big key of Ganon's Tower. It's going to be located in a item check location between the numbers of 1 and 22. There are 22 potential items in Ganon's Tower's bottom half. One of them will be the big key. So you will enter a number between 1 and 22. At that point, if you are a member of the Speed Gaming community of channels, if you are a subscriber, or you have donated 250 bits to one of the Speed Gaming channels, you'll be eligible to win your spot on the leaderboard. Scary Olive, what are they going to win today in the event of they successfully select the big the big key number?
They're going to win Internet Fame.
Internet Fame! That is an important thing to have. You know, a lot of people for Internet Fame, not many people get it, so make sure that you are prepared to play the game.
Internet Fame is the best kind of fame also, because you know, you look at big stars like Chris Pratt or something, and you think like, oh, all he cannot do is groceries anymore because people always want to talk to him. But internet fame, you get to be like, oh, I'm famous, but you also get to do your groceries. It's true.
Yes,
It's the best of both worlds.
I guess you're right. So Ultyma goes ahead and checks that chest. It's unnecessary. I'll be interested to see if they check the big key chest. It's a big time sink.
They want the tempered sword for sure.
Yeah, they do. Recitador says nope. He's not even going to bother looking. And I would have been surprised if Ultyma did choose to go to the big chest there. Perhaps Trolldorm here will have what they're looking for. We'll find out in just a moment. This is going to be an interesting fight. The potential here to lose your ground. They are going to have to use...
right now. You don't want to fall, especially not in the middle hole.
Yeah, they're both going to want to use the hammer to get this done. Ultyma!
Oh, no!
Oh my goodness!
Ultyma! I know you like Ols, but please.
This is insane. That is actually, this could be a moment, and Recitador also getting bodied by Trolldorm here.
Yeah, but he gets the kill.
Finishes him off. Oh. Ultyma not risking the Trolldorm this time. So, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, the Big E game, we've already opened it up for you. If you'd like to take a look now, enter your number between 1 and 22. I am going to choose number 3 because I love the torch. Scary Olive, what's your call? I know you're keeping it to yourself, but let's hear it up.
Okay, it's 17.
Number 17. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, get your numbers in.
What's yours?
I said number 3. I'm going for the torch. I'm going for the torch here. I just think it's fun.
I'm sorry. I'm so into like this race. I'm watching, and I'm like, I was so into the Moldon fight because you cannot afford a second fall here. You could not.
So, ladies and gentlemen, just like that, the game is over, as Recitador has now entered Ganon's Tower.
Okay, how does it work? Because if they do the different route, since they're doing it at the same time, which one is the...
So, the official rule is we go by Recitador's checks.
All right.
He was the first one to enter, so he's the one we check. So that's number 1. There's a piece of heart, and in the second one, he finds a key. He's going to mirror out and start on the left-hand side.
He gets a key and goes. That could be a difference in the play here, and that would be like the second time these runners ever do something different, but it could happen.
Number 3 is another...
Oh my God! He's doing it! The man! He's doing it!
Wow. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is to be probably what makes or breaks this game out open for one of these two runners. Someone is going to be successful. One of them will have made the right call. One of them will have not. And we'll find out in just a few moments. So we are on number 4, 5, 6 is the mushroom, and 7 will be this last chest. 50 rupees for the big key game. Fire Snake Room is probably going to be the next check.
That's... Ultyma needs to find a big key here, because otherwise he just lost a minute.
And it is not there for Recitador in number 8. Oh, it's heartbreaking for Ultyma. He's gonna go grab this key before he mirrors back.
Wouldn't it be funny if it's on the tile room?
Oh. That it doesn't matter.
It would be like this, like a micro reenactment of the swamp and ice switcheroo.
Indeed. So number 9 for Recitador, just the compass doesn't help us out there in the big key game. We are now entering the rando room, so called because these 4 chests have absolutely nothing of value in them in the actual game. There's literally no reason to go in here ever. The time it's of any value is here in randomizer games where they can be anything.
Oh yeah, I sometimes miss this room even in randomizer because it's just like, it seems so useless.
So that's 10, 11, 12, and soon to be 13. Still nothing. Tile room hype is alive, ladies and gentlemen.
Tile room would be the great equalizer here.
Wow, can you imagine?
Tonight, I can imagine.
I'm hoping now. Can I change my vote to 22 because what an amazing matchup this would have been if that were the case.
Well, you cannot change your vote to 22 when the number 3 has already gone out. You know,
I
that
know.
would be cheating. But 17 is still alive. Just saying.
So we are on 15, 16, and 17 next.
17 is always a great choice. It just feels so right because it can be anywhere, depending on the route you do.
So we're going to take a look here at Bob's chest. Bob has been converted to a normal fairy.
Oh, and he's waiting for Bob to go out.
Oh
but
no,
Bob
you can't do this, Recitador. You don't have the time.
He's a polite man, you know. He's not
waiting his turn.
He's not gonna derange Bob here.
All right, so there was that was 14.
You know, I'm in Ganon's tower. I'm in a race. I'm gonna wait for Bob. That's such a...
I mean, Recitador probably feels like he's miles ahead. He has made very bad calls. There's 15, 16, and 17 is your big key. There you go. A winner. 17.
I would have won. Damn.
Oh, I'm sorry. It seems like our tracker got a little bit itchy trigger finger there and spoiled the big key game for our followers. Got ahead of the actual stream.
It's okay. I don't think nobody is gonna make nightmares about this tonight.
So, congratulations, GG to Velanoth, who was the closest supporter, who had guessed 19. If you did guess 17 and you are not a
Ultyma also waiting for Bob.
Oh, that's true. If you are not a subscriber, congratulations on picking 17. Of course, you will not make the leaderboard at this point. As we now begin our climb up the gauntlet, this is going to be another position, another place where we've seen like the potential for swaps of the leader.
Oh yeah. At this point, it's still Recitador has a lead right now because of the Ultyma right side gamble, but it's still not set in stone. And like here, Recitador is going for the fairy room, and that's a bit of time that is lost right now if Ultyma doesn't go. And since he got this blue potion, he might not go.
Yeah, he probably doesn't feel the need. He has also, because he didn't go mode swamp, so he has the powder to get fairies from all over the place. It's not necessary for him.
Yeah, it looks like both runners feel like they're winning for sure. Like they're getting sour at 132, and all their gamble has paid off, and they both probably don't feel the like. It's one of these cases where they probably both feel like they're winning and by a large margin, and that they are gonna take this like super slowly, just safely, and maybe that's gonna make the difference here.
So, considering we got through 17 checks, and we actually saw all of the checks except for Tile Room, we know that they haven't missed a sword upgrade.
Yeah, that's
here in Ganon's Tower at this point.
That could have been like an advantage for Ultyma if he found a sword on his left side. That would have been like a time equalizer, but
that would easily have made up the difference. The small difference that they have right now, about a minute or so apart. And Troll Dorm 2 might be a thing.
Yeah, and Aga skills, and again, its execution is there's still a lot of place for execution in the gauntlet. It's the hardest part of the game, even when you have all the equipment, and they are still on Master Sword. Master Sword Ganon is a bit technical.
Yeah, and there's a lot of room for error. Recitador there gets a 2-cycle on Landmolus 2. Not bad with the silver arrows. Ultyma here having a little bit of trouble in this last conveyor belt room, but snipes him.
Nice snipes and bonk here.
You know, these rooms just feel awful when this happens, where you're bouncing around and sliding on the ice physics.
Yeah, the Igor plus ice physics is just, it's brutal. Here, Recitador goes for the lamp, while Ulti goes for...
that takes a fall there. Didn't want to do that.
Sometimes taking a fall makes the room a bit faster, but...
He took it after he had made it past that spot that he would have wanted to at that point. Yeah. It was definitely not an intentional fall.
There maybe the runners will check the chest here, and there's last 3 or 4 chests here. We're looking for a sword.
Yep, piece of heart.
Oh, Ultyma misses up the.
Oh,
the
Recitador
blizzard.
finds. Recitador finds his tempered sword upgrade, and Ultima does have some problems here in this last section. So that's going to speed up his Ganon fight tremendously. Hopefully, for Ultima's sake, that he will make the same call.
I would think he would check it.
You know, at this point, you no longer check anything. You're good to go. You know, one fall on Trolldorm 2 could spell a difference here.
Mm-hmm. And but Trolldorm doesn't want to get hit today.
No, he is serious. He's definitely causing some problems for our runners. Recitador does take him out. Has the hook shot ready to go. And Ultima finds his sword too. Yep. Anyone's game still here.
Recitador pushing the blocks instead of using the hookshot glitch. That's 2 seconds for Ultima, and he'll take those seconds, I'm pretty sure.
But he sacrifices a couple of seconds taking that last couple of chests. Looking for the butter sword here, I think. Aga 2 is going to be a big condition. Can we get a good set of cycles? Well, only a single on the first one for Recitador. Ultima, that's a good
setup here.
Gets a double there. Blue balls, of course, interfering with his ability to get a triple. And another potential double. It looks like it was not at the same time. And another single. And there's the finish on Aga 2. Not too bad.
This is gonna be close.
Now there is the possibility of 2 triples here.
A double.
Gets the double there. This one is a easy triple. Oh no, sorry, it was only a potential double because of the blue ball. My bad. Gets the double there. One more.
Oh,
no. He really wanted to hit that one there. It's been a time. He would have caught up a little bit of time there.
136. The Ganon fight has started.
Another one. Ooh, Recitador getting in a nice spot to throw some spins down there. Still hasn't finished phase 1. And there should be phase 2 now.
I don't know what safeties Recitador has, but Ultima has blue potion.
Yeah, I know that he has at least a red and a green potion.
That's true. So that should be...
Because we saw him pick those up, but... So I learned something that I hadn't really ever thought of.
Oh my god! Does he have the fairy? He has the fairy. Whew. But that's the time loss here.
Yeah, more time.
Every second count right now.
So as I was saying, I learned something that when your phase change again, and you really have to wait for him to actually throw out those fireballs, the fire bats, before the hits that you're doing will actually trigger his damage in phase 2.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure of that before.
This race might actually come down to double hits on the silver arrows and.
Oh yeah, this is very, very, very close. Looks like Ultima has now done enough to
Does Ultima has a
transition.
Fairy too?
Woo! Oh, if Recitador misses the torch glitch, that could be a tremendous game-changing difference here as well. So there's hit.
Gets a single.
Gets another single. Oof, takes a body by the fire bats.
Misses.
Oh, almost.
He doesn't get. I don't think he gets the fire glitch either.
No, but he gets a double there, almost a triple, and Recitador gets the win.
Yes. Wow.
Well, potentially. He still has to make it across this bridge. It wouldn't be the first time. And Ultima comes back from the dead. Also taking a fall there on Ganon. Recitador crosses the line, finishes the race with an official speed racing TV time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 36 seconds.
Wow.
Ultyma is going to
Less
be
than a
just
minute
behind him.
difference. Less than 30 seconds difference. That's crazy. Good games to a runner. That was like a badass race, man.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
showing on both of these.
All right,
Wow.
so, ladies and gentlemen, that was a fantastic race. What an exciting thing to watch. Ultyma gets his official speed race time of
They were
about
28 seconds difference.
28 seconds of difference.
According
Yeah,
to Speed Racing TV.
I missed the time. I'm sorry. Recitador's time was 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 8 seconds. Ultima's was 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 36
Officially, it might have been Kiki.
It could have been that Kiki. There was also that Trolldorm. Trolldorm in the first original Trolldorm did knock Ultima off there. That's 20 seconds right there.
And the amounts
there's
of 20
a lot
seconds
things.
in this race.
Yeah. Little things happened. All right, so we're just gonna wait a couple minutes. Our runners just need a break. They've indicated that they'd like to just stretch their legs, but we'll be pulling them into the chat momentarily as soon as they're ready. Wow, what a fun matchup, Scary Olive. That was amazing.
Oh, I'm so glad I watched this.
Yes, it was a privilege to be able to commentate this. Fantastic. It looks like Ultima's ready to come in, so we'll pull him in now, and we'll get Recitador in a few moments. So, Ultima, GG, congratulations on completing this race. Unfortunately for you, just a little bit behind. How do you feel about this particular seed and your performance today?
I'm sad. I tried to quad Ganon and it costed me.
Yeah, it almost worked.
Yeah.
So I will say to you, Recitador's just taken a little breather, and then we'll pull him into the chat. But I will say to you guys that both of you were neck and neck the entire time. Recitador's just letting me know he's ready to come in, so I'll grab him now. GG, Recitador, welcome to the channel.
GG, Recitador.
Thanks.
Congratulations on the very close victory there.
Yeah, to be honest, when I saw the how easy it was to get the 3 items that I was still needing, I figured I was kind of screwed.
Yeah, it was amazing to watch you guys.
You guys did exactly the same route throughout all the game. The only difference that happened in the race is that Ultima, you went into Swamp Palace, while Recitador, you went into Ice Palace, and you both cleared it, and there was nothing in both of these. And after that, you both went to Pod, and the difference was some one of you had to go mode Swamp, and the other one had to go mode Ice, but the time was the same, and it was amazing to watch.
It was very fun to play. It felt like it was. I couldn't tell if I was ahead or behind this time. It felt like we were even.
Yeah,
interesting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the seed was very open, but both of you guys, even though you had a lot of choice, everything seemed to fall in the right place at the right time all the time throughout the seeds. Was that how you felt?
I felt good until I figured out where those last 3 items were. Like I said, because I could have avoided thieves entirely and go moded almost every dungeon.
Yeah, but again, at the time, how are you supposed to make that call? Thieves' Town is right there. Yes, it's pendant, but green pendant, so it made sense to do. And you both were literally in there simultaneously the entire time.
The entire time, for real.
Should be interesting to watch back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, again, we are not kidding when we say to you that the differences that probably made up this game were very, very small. There was a moment there when Kiki trolled one of you.
Yeah, I remember that when I dashed.
Yeah, both of you actually missed Kiki coming out of the mirror there. You still have the iframes, I think, when you mirror back in and it doesn't trigger Kiki. And so you have to leave and come back into the little underground maze there.
Yeah, I know about that. I just forgot and then tried to keep going.
And so one of you picked it up really quick and the other one was like, oh, wait a minute. I forgot. need that monkey. So a thing like that, that's 10, 15 seconds. Like
A modern for Ultima in Tower of Era.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's 20 seconds right there. Yeah. Right side,
Yeah.
left side.
Yeah, the right side, left side decision at the start. That was again the second big decision deviation that the two of you had. Ultimately, you chose to go to the right side fully of Ganon's tower. Was there anything like can you maybe indicate what your thought process there was? Why you chose to go that way, or is it just what you always do if you find a key?
It's if I find a key, I always go that way, and I do the 4 chests, and then I grab the small key, and then go to the other side. And because I hate doing that stupid falling bridge to get to Ice Armos.
Mm-hmm.
See, I just hate right side in general. So.
Yeah, we were kind of pulling for Tile Room Big Key at that point, just to see you guys converge yet again. But unfortunately, it was not meant to be.
Yeah, this race was really nice because it really was a showdown of execution mostly, and not a coin flip that somebody made to make the race. So that was a real pleasure to watch from spectator side. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Amazing showing from you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thanks.
Another interesting one chat just brings up was both of you stood there and waited for Bob. And and literally chat and ourselves, we were just pulling our hairs out because you were so neck and neck, and it was about, I don't know, that might have been another 15 seconds right there.
Yeah, the boat,
Waiting
like
for Bob.
we're watching, and it's like this tight race, and you're like, and he's waiting for Bob to get out.
That's just a force of habit. I don't know.
I'm not used to having like 19 hearts with red mail.
And additionally, Ultima, you had powder as well. So,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, was that in Swamp?
yeah, powder was in Swamp, yeah.
Yeah, so both
And
of you actually are pretty much often playing the crossroll entrance randomizer, right?
Yeah.
So how does it feel to go in a standard race having all this mostly crossroll entrance key sanity background?
Standard is a bit of a how do I put this? Standard is not as interesting, but I mean it's still fun. But yeah, like I don't know, there's a lot more puzzle involved in crossroad key sanity, and you have to like really sort of get a picture of where it's trying to send you even more than you do in this mode. This mode, you can flip a lot of coins, and I mean, like you said, swamp or ice. Which one do you do? I don't know.
So what we're waiting here now for, absolutely, we were both curious talking about it, is the collection rates for the two of you. They have to be nearly identical, and so I'm very interested to see. Oh, look at that! There's somewhat different because Ultima had to collect a few more chests in Ganon's tower since you made that right side check. So that changes things.
That changed the thing.
A little bit, yeah.
Also, swamp versus ice, maybe.
Yeah, a few there.
Because I didn't do anything in swamp, and there's a few more chests in there.
Yeah.
Ultima having to go in and do the full clear, including the left side.
But ultimately, even though it took him a little bit more time to clear it because of the chest, it took less time to do it because he had the fire rod, where you had to kill it with the Master Sword. Even though you got the hammer, but you had you almost died, so you went with Master Sword. And
when I saw that fire rod, I was a little unhappy.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, was that putting off of desert, like, you had the book, you had the mirror, you had the lift upgrade as well, and
just looking for a fire source.
Needed a fire source, and both of them were in the desert.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's hot there, guys. You should have known.
That's true.
Yeah. So in any event, sorry, go ahead.
And Recitador went to Agina's very much earlier than Ultima, but you never went to see the ledge before when you did the Aghanim check, right? The Agina's cave. So that could have...
I don't know what I just have this habit of not checking it until I'm ready to collect it. I don't know. I should probably break that.
Yeah, when you have the book. But it was amazing still, like it put so much like pressure on the race. It was amazing.
Yep. Fantastic job. Just to tidy things up here, GG Recitador, what a great match. that moves you up into that 3-2 position, still alive in the tournament. How do you feel about the event so far? Are you having a good time? Excited for next week, or?
Having a good time, and I can't wait to see the scary list of names for next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the number of big name players who are not like at this point 4-0 or 5-0 is immense. There are a lot of tough matchups that everyone's facing, and it's really fun to watch people able to kind of meet up with these larger name players and overcome them. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
As well, Ultyma, the falling down to 2-3, not exactly the place that you want to be. However, with the way that the tournament is shaping up, there is still a chance for you to make it into the brackets due to a couple of drops and some things that are taking place. Again, same kind of question. How are you feeling about the tournament? Are you having a fun time? And whatnot?
I'm having a great time. It's a lot different dynamic playing 1 versus 1 instead of doing the races, every night with 30, 40 people. It's a lot more tense. You're on the edge of your seat, and being restreamed is a whole new level of its own.
Yeah, you had hundreds and hundreds of fans here watching today. It's pretty exciting.
It is. It's awesome. Thank you.
Internet celebrities for a night.
Absolutely. According to Scary, all of that is the best kind of celebrity, so you guys should be happy about that. So, Recitador, just any final words that you'd like to say as you're leaving here?
GG, Ultyma, thanks for the restream, commentary, tracking. Thanks to chat for tuning in, and I don't know, if I manage to just have a positive record, I'm going to be happy so far. I mean, I'm pretty happy so far that I've even won it all. So.
Awesome, and same to you, Ultyma. Again, thanks for an exciting race. Do you have any final comments, final thoughts that you'd like to share with the people watching at this time?
Just GG to Recitador, and now it's time to do an entrance across World Christianity.
All right, so for our viewers, on behalf of them, I'd like to once again just thank you guys for putting on such a fantastic show. It was a lot of excitement. Good luck and in the upcoming races and with the rest of the tournament.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to turn your attention to the fact that there are several matchups still taking place. Currently, looks like we're in the middle of a run between Flip and El Magus on Speed Gaming 5.
Ooh.
And then coming up, starting in just a few minutes on Speed Gaming 2, is Docu-Horror versus Bacon tonight as well. In another hour, there'll be JTB versus Xerox on Speed Gaming 1. And then if you are willing to wait up till 4 a.m., there is another matchup happening on Speed Gaming as well, this same channel. So many races to go, so much going on. On behalf of myself, Crozone80, and my co-casting partner here, Scary Olive, thanks for watching us. If you are so inclined, I'm pretty sure that Scary would also appreciate a follow if you feel that he deserves it. As well, just one last little shout out. We had Kirito5 on the tracker today. He did a fantastic job keeping all those little lights at the bottom of the screen illuminated for you. So a follow for him as well would probably be greatly appreciated.
And a good end of applause from everybody in the chat for everything that happened tonight. Amazing night of A Link to the Past Randomizer here on Speed Gaming.
Yes, absolutely. So with that, we're going to sign off. Guys, head to some other channels. Throw some follows, throw some love out at everybody who you feel deserves it. Have a great night, and we'll see you in the next match.
Woohoo!